Yo, what's up guys, Daniel here. Today I'm going to be talking to you about some news that we just got from Google I/O. Now for those that don't know, every year Google has a developers conference called I/O, and this is focused around Android and Chrome, the things that people make apps for Google. And that's why it's, this year's developer conference, they always make some big announcements. This year they decided to do a few big things. They are expanding Android, and I'll make a few separate videos, one on each of the different things they're expanding Android to. But part of the next release of Android is the expansion to car, TV, and wearables. Today we're going to be focusing on, as I mentioned, auto, which is cars. And so the link for the other videos, once they're released, will be in the description. Go ahead and check those out. Also make sure and subscribe so you don't miss any of these upcoming videos. But let's get straight into Android Auto, because there's quite a few things I want to go over. Now for those that didn't get to see the preview, Android Auto is essentially a new infotainment system for your car, or I guess, they're not really going to call it that, infotainment system, which is what the current implementations are called, but it's really what it is. It's going to be the OS that your car's dashboard or your car's infotainment system will run on. The cars will have their own separate system, at least from the preview one that they showed off on stage, but what happens is when you connect your phone to your car via micro USB, you just plug it right in, it will start essentially screencasting to your car this Android Auto experience. There's quite a few things as far as features go. I mean, obviously it's going to have Google Maps support, so you're going to get voice guidance, live traffic, lane guidance, all the standard stuff Google Maps navigation already has, but built into your car, so you'll get that nice experience. It'll come out of your car's speakers, you'll have the much larger screen for the maps, things like that, almost as like I've seen people use Nexus 7s for their maps on their car, similar to that, but again, built in. Also, the other big thing is it's going to support Google Now. So there will be more of a focus as far as which cards it's going to put on your device. It'll probably focus more on where you're going. So if you're going somewhere, it might show weather for where you're going, where you've set the navigation to. If it's going to be warm, like in one of the preview pictures, they did show that it will have, like, it might have a tip where, okay, it's going to be hot, you're going to the beach, wear some sunscreen. If there's a jellyfish warning for somewhere you're going surfing at, it might show that. Things like that, just things to make your life easier. And it's very nice to see all of this coming to these devices, to the car. On top of that, though, you'll be able to do voice search for things, you'll be able to do voice calls, all the other stuff that Google Now on a cellular device supports. Speaking of Google Now, I just activated it on my Moto X. But again, it's going to be an expansion of the services that we kind of already have, just brought to this device. On top of that, one of the main options on this home screen that you'll see is the music. Now don't worry, this won't require you to use the built-in music on your phone, this won't require you to use Google Play Music All Access, this will allow you to use music applications. They've already announced Pandora, Spotify, TuneIn Radio, I think iHeartRadio, and quite a few more. I'll put a little preview up on screen, as you may have seen for some of the other stuff, and it's interesting. It's nice that they're reaching out, because a lot of features for devices have always been the Google services first. I'm really happy, and I was really worried at first too. I'm really happy though to see that services like Spotify, which is what I use for music, are coming to this. It's going to make it much more viable for everyone to want to use, and it's just the right thing to do, and they did a good job. Speaking of applications, other apps will be supported on Android Auto. It's Android, it's open source, apps are coming to it. Essentially what's going to happen, developers will be able to release one APK for your phone, and it will work on any of your Android devices, so whether that be phone, tablet, auto, wearable, TV, one APK, one app in the Play Store, you just download it and it works. It's going to be great. It is going to cause app sizes to go up a little bit, but for the extra functionality and ease of use, it's going to be nice. They did announce some apps that are already being supported. MLB at Bats, you can get live sports updates, a few different podcasting applications, some news applications, an app that lets you listen to comedy, things like that. So a lot of the stuff you'd want to listen to in the car, you'll be able to just through the Android Auto interface and through the voice commands. The other thing about Android Auto is that it's going to support the parts of your car that, like the steering wheel, may have a button that would normally activate the ability to do a call through your, your Ford system in your car. Well, instead of having to use Ford's service for all of that, it fully integrates into the car's functionality. So you'll be able to press a button on your steering wheel instead of having to look over and then initiate these voice commands. If you want to start listening to a song through, say, Spotify, and that's your selected music application in your car, you'll be able to press a button on your car and just say, "Okay, Google," and you actually can do "Okay, Google" without having to press a button, I believe. But you'll be able to, press that button and say, listen to "Get Lucky" by Daft Punk, and it'll start playing that. Any song of your choice that, Spotify would have access to. Pandora, Google Music, again, all of those should be working just fine through all of this functionality, and it's going to be really nice to see all of this integrate. Speaking of which, Google heard me want to listen to Daft Punk. Wow. Google's listening. Speaking of which, Google is listening. But let's get into cars, because that's the other big thing, is this will require newer cars. It's not going to be back supported into older models. But what type of cars are you going to be able to get with Android Auto? Quite a few. So it's going to be 2015 and later for the most part model cars. Not all of these companies will be releasing their next model with this, but there's a lot of companies that have agreed to support Android Auto. We have, I'll read you the full list: Bentley, Chevy, Chrysler, Dodge, Fiat, Ford, Honda, Hyundai, Infiniti, Jeep, Kia, Maserati, Mazda, Mitsubishi, Nissan, Opel, Ram, Renault, Seat, Skoda, Subaru, Suzuki, VW, and Volvo. I'm really disappointed that Tesla's not on here, but Tesla has their own system. Other than that, I think Apple has the edge in some cases, like they have Ferrari, I believe, but it's nice to see a lot of companies support Android Auto out of the gate. And sorry about that, guys, there was some thunder outside, so I had to wait for that to pass, so there was a little skip there. But back to what I was saying, it's really nice to see all of these different types of cars get supported. I expect to see everything from lower to middle to higher tier cars get supported by all of these companies. The one thing is it will most likely require an Android L and above device, so if you have some phone that's on 4.4, it's not going to work. At least that's what it seems like. That may change. Google hasn't really said yes or no, but they were talking a lot about this releasing with the Android L update. Speaking of Android L update, obviously the Nexus devices are going to get it, Motorola devices and whatnot. HTC also did promise to get the M7 and M8 to get the Android L update pretty quickly. So if you have one of those devices and you're planning on buying one of these cars on launch day, you should be good to go right away. All in all though, Android Auto is quite an exciting thing. I'm really happy to see it come out. I'm probably not going to be able to buy one of these cars right away, but as soon as I can get some hands-on time with an Android Auto car and an Android Auto, whatever device that would support Android Auto, I'll be more than happy to bring a video for you guys. Whether I have to go to a dealership and ask them if I can use a car, I'll do that if it takes it to get a video for you. But all in all, Android Auto is an exciting experience. If you guys are interested in Android Wear or Android TV, as I mentioned before, make sure and go ahead and subscribe and leave a like just to let me know all of that. And I will be with you guys shortly. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye.